let me start the last unit for you. ಈ ಕೊನೆ unit 4 ಅಲ್ಲಿ we have one big chapter of 15 hours, that was the statistical mechanics. Okay, I hope you have seen the syllabus and you have seen the last unit, which is statistical mechanics. Okay, so right, I will start directly the last unit, which is statistical mechanics. Yeah. This statistical mechanics combines the statistical ideas in the laws of mechanics. We know the laws of mechanics. What are the laws of mechanics, you know? What is the famous law of mechanics we know? Can you hear me? Hello? Yeah, okay. What is the famous law of mechanics we know so far? Law of mechanics? Yes. No answer? Law of mechanics? So it is only the Newton's law. When you come to the mechanics, the only law which we remember always is the Newton's law. Newton's law are so famous in the mechanics. Okay? Very popular laws in the mechanics are the Newton's laws. Okay? This you all studied in the second PUC itself. Newton's laws of mechanics. Okay? So this statistical mechanics combines the statistical ideas in the law of mechanics. Okay? Right. Alright. In the statistical mechanics, we basically go for very basic definitions involved in the statistical mechanics. Right. So first basic definition is the phase space. This is absolutely a new topic for you. Okay, you have not at all studied this topic in the second PUC. I am damn sure. Okay, so second PUC na ಓದಿದ್ದೀರಾ? Yeah, statistical. No. Yeah. So in the pre-university, you are not at all studied this statistical mechanics. Okay. All right. So phase space is absolutely a new word for you. We know a three-dimensional space which has x, y, and z coordinate. Three-dimensional space ನಮಗೆ ಗೊತ್ತಿದೆ. We don't know this phase space. Phase space ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಏನು ಅಂತ ನಾನು ಡಿಫೈನ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಹೋಗ್ತೀನಿ. Okay. All right. To define a mechanical system completely, we define some of the quantities, that is Qi and Pi. What are this Qi and Pi? Qi andre ಏನು ಹೇಳಿ? Qi is a position coordinate. Qi is a position coordinate. Pi ಏನು ಹೇಳಿ ನೋಡೋಣ? Pi is the momentum coordinate. Okay, so we have position coordinate and the momentum coordinate to define a mechanical state of a system. ಒಂದು ಸಿಸ್ಟಮ್ ನಾವು ಡಿಫೈನ್ ಮಾಡಬೇಕಾದ್ರೆ ನಮಗೆ ಬೇಕಾದಂತ ಕೋಆರ್ಡಿನೇಟ್ಸ್ ಯಾವಪ್ಪ ಅಂದ್ರೆ Qi and Pi. Qi means it's a position coordinate. Pi means it is a momentum coordinate. Okay, so how many position coordinates do we have to define a state of a system, a mechanical state of a system? So I can have this Qx, Qy and Qz. Okay, how many position coordinates I have? 3 position coordinates, Qx, Qy, Qz, and 3 momentum coordinates. Totally how many coordinates I have? How many I have totally? 6 coordinates, exactly. So out of which 3 are the position coordinates and 3 are the momentum coordinates. So totally how many coordinates we have? 6 coordinates. So it is a 6-dimensional space. 6-dimensional space having 3 position coordinates and 3 momentum coordinates is known as phase space. So far for a visualization we have 3 coordinates. ನಾವು ವಿಜುವಲ್ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಳ್ಳೋಂಥದ್ದು 3 ಕೋಆರ್ಡಿನೇಟ್ ಎಕ್ಸ್ ವೈ ಮತ್ತು ಝೆಡ್ 3 ಪೊಸಿಷನ್ ಕೋಆರ್ಡಿನೇಟ್ಸ್. ಬಟ್ ನಾನು ಈಗ ಹೊಸದಾಗಿ ಏನು ಹೇಳ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದೀನಿ ಅಂದರೆ 6 ಕೋಆರ್ಡಿನೇಟ್ ಇರೋಂಥ ಫೇಸ್ನ ಇಮ್ಯಾಜಿನ್ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಳ್ಳಿ, ಸ್ಪೇಸ್ನ ಇಮ್ಯಾಜಿನ್ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಳ್ಳಿ. 6 ಕೋಆರ್ಡಿನೇಟ್ಸ್ ಯಾವ್ಯಾವಪ್ಪ ಅಂದರೆ 3 ಪೊಸಿಷನ್ ಕೋಆರ್ಡಿನೇಟ್ಸ್ qx, qy and qz and 3 momentum coordinates px, py and pz. This 6-dimensional space having 3 position coordinates and 3 momentum coordinates is known as phase space. So phase space andre enu anta gottaytu. Phase space means it is a space having 3 position coordinates and 3 momentum coordinates. It is a totally 6-dimensional space. Okay. A point on this phase space indicates that particle position of the particle. Okay, so one point in a phase space indicates this particle position. All right. Okay, suppose if we have n number of particles, if I have n number of particles, then how many what is this coordinates I do have? How many coordinates I do have if I have n particles? So totally I can have 6n dimensional space. I can have 6n dimensional space. 6 ಹೆಂಗ್ ಬಂತೇಳಿ 3 position coordinates and 3 momentum coordinates totally makes the 6. One particle ಗೆ 6 coordinates ಆದರೆ how many particles I have taken? I have taken n particles. So how many coordinates in the phase space I do have for n particle is the 6n. It is a 6n dimensional space for n particles. So phase space andre namge enu anta gottayitu. Phase space means it is a 6-dimensional space having 3 position coordinates and 3 momentum coordinates. All right. One basic definition is over. Okay, phase space andre gottaytu namge enu anta. Now let me know what is microstate. So second definition ಏನಪ್ಪ ನಾನು ನೋಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದೀನಿ ಅಂದ್ರೆ macrostate ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಏನು ಅಂತ ನೋಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದೀನಿ. After that I will go for microstate. Macrostate ಅಂದ್ರೆ suppose if I have 4 distinguishable particles, 4 distinguishable particles, what are the distinguishable particles I'll take for simplicity A, B, C, D. A, B, C, D are the 4 distinguishable particles which are distributed, which I am going to distribute in the 2 similar compartments. These are the 2 compartments which I am going to distribute these 4 particles. Okay? Idonthara logical thinking. It is a kind of logical thinking. Now think that how many ways I can distribute these 4 distinguishable particles in 2 compartments. Okay? Yavav ರೀತಿ ನಾನು arrange ಮಾಡಬಹುದು? How can I arrange these 4 particles in 2 compartments? ನಾನು ಒಂದು way ಏನಪ್ಪ ಮಾಡ್ತೀನಿ, one arrangement I'll make here is ಇಲ್ಲಿ particles ಹಾಕದೇ ಇಲ್ಲ. I'll not put any particles for the first compartment. I'll put all the particles for the second compartment. So one way I can arrange is 0, 4. This is one way of arranging four particles in two similar compartments. What is next way? Then 4, 0, I'll come to that. What next? 1, 1 and 1, 3. First compartment I can have one particle, second compartment I can have three particles. 1, 3. Next 2, 2, 2, 2. So one compartment I can have two particles, another I can have two particles again. So 2, 2. Next. Exactly 3, 1. So first compartment I can have three particles, second I can have one particle. What's the last one? Yes, 4 and 0. First compartment 4 particles, second compartment no particles. So this is the number of ways I can arrange 4 distinguishable particles in two similar compartments. How many ways? Totally how many ways I can arrange? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 different ways. Yeah, 5 different ways. In 5 different ways I can arrange the 4 distinguishable particles in two compartments. This compartment wise arrangement of particle is called microstate. Microstate ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಈ ರೀತಿ ಕಂಪಾರ್ಟ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ವೈಸ್ ನಾವು ಅರೇಂಜ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದೀವಲ್ಲ ಪಾರ್ಟಿಕಲ್ ನ, ಸೊ ಅದನ್ನೇ ನಾವು ಮ್ಯಾಕ್ರೋಸ್ಟೇಟ್ ಅಂತ ಕರೀತಾ ಇದೀವಿ. ಓಕೆ, ಸೊ this is one macrostate. 0, 4 is one macrostate where in first compartment no particles, second compartment I have all the 4 particles. So 1, 3 is another macrostate where in the first compartment 1 particle, second I have 3 particles. This is another and this is another, this is another. So totally I have 5 macrostates possible for 4 particles to be distributed in 2 compartments. Okay, 5. So ನಾನು 4 ಪಾರ್ಟಿಕಲ್ಸ್ ನ 2 ಕಂಪಾರ್ಟ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಡಿಸ್ಟ್ರಿಬ್ಯೂಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಹೋದ್ರೆ ನಾನು ಟೋಟಲಿ 5 ರೀತಿಯಲ್ಲಿ ಡಿಸ್ಟ್ರಿಬ್ಯೂಟ್ ಮಾಡಬಹುದು. ಸೊ ಈ 5ನ್ನ ನಾವು ಏನಂತ ಕರೀತಾ ಇದೀವಪ್ಪ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಮ್ಯಾಕ್ರೋಸ್ಟೇಟ್ ಅಂತ ಕರೀತಾ ಇದೀವಿ. ಓಕೆ, compartment wise arrangement of particles is known as macrostate, or otherwise I can say the arrangement of particle in a cell in a phase space. Okay, I have told you what is phase space is. Phase space andre 6-dimensional space having 3 position coordinates and 3 momentum coordinates. ಆ phase space na ನಾನು further divide ಮಾಡ್ತೀನಿ. If this is a phase space of 6 dimension, I will divide this phase space into number of cells. Number of cells ಆಗಿ ಡಿವೈಡ್ ಮಾಡಿ ಪ್ರತಿ ಸೆಲ್ ಅಲ್ಲೂ ನಾನು ಪಾರ್ಟಿಕಲ್ಸ್ ನ ಡಿಸ್ಟ್ರಿಬ್ಯೂಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದೀನಿ. It is the arrangement of particles in a cell in the phase space is known as macrostate. Okay, ಎರಡು ರೀತಿ ಹೇಳ್ಬೋದು, ಎರಡು ರೀತಿಯಲ್ಲೂ macrostate ನ ಡಿಫೈನ್ ಮಾಡಬಹುದು. It is a compartment wise arrangement of particles, or you can say arrangement of particles in a cell in the phase space. Okay, so either way you can define this macrostate. So macrostate andre gottaಯ್ತಲ್ವಾ? Okay, I'll define it again. The compartment wise arrangement of particles is known as macrostate, or you can say arrangement of particles in a cell in a phase space is known as macrostate. Okay, either way you can define it. For 4 particles, so how many macrostates do I have for 4 particles? How many five particles, sorry, 5 macrostates for the 4 particles. For n particles, how many macrostates do I have? So obviously it is n plus 1 macrostate. 4 particle ಗೆ 5 macrostate ಇದೆ. So n particle ಗೆ n plus 1 macrostate ಇದೆ. How do I write the n plus 1 macrostates? So ಬರೆಯಪ್ಪ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಈ 1 macrostate is 0, n. Another macrostate is ಏನಪ್ಪ n particles in microstate ಹೇಳಿ 1 comma 1 comma n minus 1 and so on up to n comma 0, up to this n comma 0. So totally if you count this, you will have n plus 1 macrostates for n particles. So n particles idre ನನಗೆ n plus 1 macrostate ಸಿಗುತ್ತೆ. 5 particles ಇದ್ರೆ 6 macrostate ಸಿಗುತ್ತೆ. 4 particle ಇದ್ರೆ 5 macrostate ಸಿಗುತ್ತೆ. ಕಂಪಾರ್ಟ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ವೈಸ್ ನಾವೇನು ಅರೇಂಜ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದೀವಿ ಅದೇ ನಮಗೆ macrostate ಆಗಿರುತ್ತೆ. All right. So I define what is macrostate is. Now after this, let me go for microstate. Let me tell you what is microstate is. So this is a third basic definition which I am looking for. Microstate. Yeah. Now in the microstate I have seen that the compartment wise arrangement. Now in one compartment wise arrangement, look for how many distinct arrangement you can make out of that. ಒಂದು arrangement ಅಲ್ಲಿ 0,4 ಒಂದು arrangement ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಯಾವ ರೀತಿಯ arrangements ನ ನೀವು ಮಾಡಬಹುದು. Okay, welcome to that. So 0,4. Let me use this. ಝೀರೋ ಕಾಮ 4 ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಯಾವ್ಯಾವ ರೀತಿಯ ಅರೇಂಜ್ಮೆಂಟ್ಸ್ ಮಾಡಬಹುದು. 0 ಅಂದ್ರೆ ನಾನು ಒಂದರಲ್ಲಿ ಏನು ಆಗ್ತಾ ಇಲ್ಲ, ಇದರೊಳಗಡೆ ಏನು ಆಗ್ತಾ ಇಲ್ಲ. ಓಕೆ, ಒಂದರಲ್ಲಿ 0 ಇದೆ, ಒಂದರಲ್ಲಿ ನೋ ಪಾರ್ಟಿಕಲ್ಸ್. ಓಕೆ, 0. ಇಲ್ಲಿ ನಾನು ಎಲ್ಲಾ ಪಾರ್ಟಿಕಲ್ಸ್ನು ಹಾಕ್ಬಿಟ್ಟಿದ್ದೀನಿ, ಎ ಬಿ ಸಿ ಡಿ. ಓಕೆ, ಸೊ ಈ ತರ ಎಷ್ಟು ರೀತಿಯ ಅರೇಂಜ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ಬೋದು. ಒಂದರಲ್ಲಿ ಒಂದು ಪಾರ್ಟಿಕಲ್ಸ್ ಇಲ್ಲ, ಒಂದೇ ಅರೇಂಜ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ಮಾಡೋಕ್ಕಾಗಲ್ಲ, ಹೌದಲ್ಲ. ಯು ಕ್ಯಾನ್ ಓನ್ಲಿ ಮೇಕ್ ಒನ್ ಸಚ್ ಅರೇಂಜ್ಮೆಂಟ್. ಹೌ ಮೆನಿ ಡಿಸ್ಟಿಂಕ್ಟ್ ಅರೇಂಜ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ಯು ಕ್ಯಾನ್ ಮೇಕ್ ಔಟ್ ಆಫ್ ದಿಸ್ 0,4? ಯು ಕ್ಯಾನ್ ಓನ್ಲಿ ಮೇಕ್ ಒನ್ ಅರೇಂಜ್ಮೆಂಟ್. ಇನ್ನೊಂದು ಮಾಡೋಕ್ಕಾಗತ್ತಾ? ಇನ್ನೊಂದು ಅರೇಂಜ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ನಾವು ಮಾಡೋಕ್ಕಾಗಲ್ಲ. 0,4 ಅಲ್ಲಿ ನಾವು ಮಾಡೋಕ್ಕಾಗದೆ ಒಂದು ರೀತಿಯ ಅರೇಂಜ್ಮೆಂಟ್. ಲೆಟ್ ಮಿ ಲುಕ್ ಫಾರ್ ಅನದರ್ ಮ್ಯಾಕ್ರೋಸ್ಟೇಟ್ ವಿಚ್ ಇಸ್ 1,3. 1,3 ನಲ್ಲಿ ಯಾವ್ಯಾವ ಬೇರೆ ಬೇರೆ ರೀತಿಯ ಅರೇಂಜ್ಮೆಂಟ್ಸ್ ನ ಮಾಡಬಹುದು. ಹೌ ಮೆನಿ ಡಿಸ್ಟಿಂಕ್ಟ್ ಅರೇಂಜ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ಯು ಕ್ಯಾನ್ ಮೇಕ್ ಔಟ್ ಇನ್ ದಿಸ್ ಪರ್ಟಿಕ್ಯುಲರ್ 1,3 ಸೆಟಪ್? ಎಷ್ಟು ಮಾಡಬಹುದಾ? ಇದರಲ್ಲಿ ಒಂದು ಪಾರ್ಟಿಕಲ್ ಹಾಕ್ತೀನಿ, ಎ ಹಾಕ್ತೀನಿ, ಇದರಲ್ಲಿ ಬಿ ಸಿ ಡಿ ಹಾಕ್ತೀನಿ. ಆಮೇಲೆ ಇನ್ನೊಂದು ಏನ್ ಮಾಡ್ತೀನಿ, ಇದರಲ್ಲಿ ಬಿ ಹಾಕ್ತೀನಿ, ಎ ಸಿ ಡಿ ಇದರಲ್ಲಿ ಹಾಕ್ತೀನಿ, ಇನ್ನೊಂದು ಸಿ ಹಾಕ್ತೀನಿ, ಎ ಬಿ ಡಿ ಹಾಕ್ತೀನಿ. ಎಕ್ಸಾಕ್ಟ್ಲಿ ಇನ್ ಡಿ ಹಾಕ್ತೀನಿ, ಎ ಬಿ ಸಿ. ಇನ್ಯಾವ್ದಾರ ಮಾಡೋಕ್ಕಾಗತ್ತಾ? ನೋ, ಓನ್ಲಿ ದಿಸ್. ಸೊ ಹೌ ಮೆನಿ ಡಿಸ್ಟಿಂಕ್ಟ್ ಅರೇಂಜ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ಯು ಕ್ಯಾನ್ ಮೇಕ್? ಫಾರ್ 4. So you can make 4 distinct arrangement for this setup 1,3. Okay, all right. So what next shall you go? It's 2,2. 2,2 na ಎಷ್ಟು ಮಾಡಬಹುದು ನಾವು? Yeah, lot of things you can make, lot of combination you can make. A B and C D, what I can make AC and this is BD. Okay, what else I can make? AD and this is BC. Okay, all right. So ಇದೇ ತರದ್ದು ನೀನು ಎಷ್ಟು ಅರೇಂಜ್ಮೆಂಟ್ಸ್ ನೀನು ಮಾಡ್ಬೋದಪ್ಪ ಅಂದ್ರೆ I will make a chart of it. I'll make it short. So how many arrangements you can make like this? 6 arrangement. You can make 6 distinct arrangement for 2,2. Okay, all right. Again for 3,1, how many arrangements I can make? Again this 4. For 4,0, 1. So totally how many arrangements I made? 1, it is 10, 14, 15, 16 total arrangements. So totally I can make 16 distinct arrangement. Okay. So these are called microstates. Okay. So these are called microstate. For 0, 4 macrostate, how many microstates I have? For 0, 4, only one microstate. Only one microstate. For 1, 3, how many microstate? For 1, 3 macrostate, I can have 4 microstate. For 2, 2 macrostate, I can have 6 microstates. For 3, 1, again I can have 4 microstates. For 4, 0, I can have 1 microstate. Overall, for 4 particles, I can have 16 microstates. For just this 4 particles, I can have 16 microstates. For n particles, I can have 2 to the power of n microstate. Okay? n particle is 4 particle is 16 bantu. 4 in 16 bantu nodi, 2 to the power of 4 is 16. Okay? For 4 particles, I can have 16 microstates. Similarly, for n number of particles, I can have 2 to the power of n microstates. Okay. So overall, I can now define the microstate. It is an each distinct arrangement of the particle in a cell in a phase space, or each distinct arrangement of particle in a compartment in a phase in a compartment. Each distinct arrangement you can make in a compartment. So ಇದಕ್ಕೆ ಏನು ಹೇಳಿದೆ ನೋಡಿ, compartment wise arrangement of the particle is macrostate, but each distinct arrangement of particle in each compartment, distinct arrangement of particles in each compartment is known as microstate. Okay, or you can say distinct arrangement of particle in cell in the phase space. Phase space ಅಲ್ಲಿರೋಂಥ ಸೆಲ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಯಾವ್ಯಾವ ರೀತಿಯ ಬೇರೆ ಬೇರೆ ಅರೇಂಜ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ಮಾಡಬಹುದು, ದಟ್ ಈಸ್ ವಾಟ್ ಮೈಕ್ರೋಸ್ಟೇಟ್. ಅಥವಾ ಕಂಪಾರ್ಟ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಈಚ್ ಡಿಸ್ಟಿಂಕ್ಟ್ ಅರೇಂಜ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ಅನ್ನ ನೀನು ಏನ್ ಮಾಡಬಹುದು, ಡಿಸ್ಟಿಂಕ್ಟ್ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಬೇರೆ ಬೇರೆ ಅರೇಂಜ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ಅನ್ನ ಏನ್ ಮಾಡಬಹುದು, ದಟ್ಸ್ ವಾಟ್ ದ ಮೈಕ್ರೋಸ್ಟೇಟ್. ಓಕೆ, ಸೊ ಮೈಕ್ರೋಸ್ಟೇಟ್ ಡಿಫೈನ್ ಮಾಡಬೇಕಾದ್ರೆ ಡಿಸ್ಟಿಂಕ್ಟ್ ವರ್ಡ್ ಇರಲೇ ಇರಬೇಕು. ಡಿಸ್ಟಿಂಕ್ಟ್ ಅರೇಂಜ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ಆಫ್ ಪಾರ್ಟಿಕಲ್ಸ್ ಇನ್ ಈಚ್ ಕಂಪಾರ್ಟ್ಮೆಂಟ್. ಪ್ರತಿಯೊಂದು ಕಂಪಾರ್ಟ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ಅಲ್ಲೂ ಯಾವ ಬೇರೆ ಬೇರೆ ರೀತಿಯ ಅರೇಂಜ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ಅನ್ನು ನಾವು ಮಾಡಬಹುದು, ಅದನ್ನ ಮೈಕ್ರೋಸ್ಟೇಟ್. For this setup, I can make one distinct arrangement in a compartment. For 1, 3, I can make 4 distinct arrangement in a compartment. For 2, 2, I can make 6 distinct arrangement in a compartment. Okay, so each distinct arrangement of the particle in the compartment is known as microstate. Okay, right. So I have defined very basic 3 things. One is phase space, another one is the macrostate, another one is the microstate. Okay, so these are the 3 very basic things I have defined. Just a minute.